Okay. Is this set up properly? Yeah, I think we're good. Okay. Just doing my normal setup over here. Should just be a second. Okay, there it is. And now I just need to make the community post. Okay. Welcome everyone. Welcome to yet another live stream here following week 8 here, the final week of the pre-jury. One of these fine people, I guess on my left, will be going home tonight. Like they'll be coming home from their very long vacation. For one of them, probably going home to being single, potentially. And after tonight, I mean, well, we only have like 3 weeks left of the season. I mean, I feel like we've really like dragged out the. I feel like the pre-juries lasted so long, like, and like at this point, like it feels like we're gonna be speed running through the post jury through the entire jury phase. So like, I think there was also some setup to a double. Like, I mean, we're gonna have to have at least one double right along the way, like to definitely expedite things because we have literally 3.5 weeks to evict 6 people, get down to a final 3. Well, I guess 3 weeks to evict 6 people, and at that point, like it'll be finale. Now, I probably should have mentioned the fact that I'm actually not going to be able to stream on the actual finale night. That's because I'm going to be on vacation on the week, or I guess on the week of that. So yeah, so literally like I leave for vacation on the 22nd of September, and then I yeah, like I'm not gonna be back until after the season ends. So like even though I'm still gonna be able to do like my normal videos and stuff, like it also means I'm probably not gonna be able to live stream. So the last stream will be the 18th of September. So still we have plenty of game left to play, and obviously tonight there is a little bit of intrigue here. But yeah, I mean, I should probably open up the chat now to see what everyone's doing. I don't even have it open right now. Okay. All right, here we are. Hello, Artur. Vince is cooked, fried, washed. I mean, if Mickey wins the Blockbuster, then it looks to be the case. Hey, Will, glad you could join us here. Hope Ashley stays. It's looking like Ashley's gonna stay. I mean, she's the safest person on the block currently. I don't think nothing's changed since I made the video on Tuesday, where I sent the video that Mickey goes out no matter what if she's on the block, and even if she does win the Blockbuster, Vince would be the backup at this point. There was an attempted campaign by Vince to sway Ava. However, that was largely unsuccessful, where Ava came out of that pitch still being anti-Vince, still wanting him out again, at least against Ashley, which I think is saying a lot considering that one, there was a lot of dirt from earlier in the week about Ashley and Rachel kind of campaigning to get Ava up as the renom and to even potentially evict Ava. But also the fact that Ava just didn't really like Ashley to begin with. So I do feel like Vince really dropped the ball here, where I feel like he gave a very lackluster campaign. And at this point, like it is looking like he would be going out over Mickey. That's where we stand. I mean, we can get more into the vote count in a little bit, but I guess I can just break it down now. So So basically, what it looks like here is if it's Ashley versus Mickey, then I feel like the main people voting Ashley would be like what, Kelly, maybe Lauren, right? And that may be it. And maybe not even Lauren. Like I think, for all I know, it could just be Kelly as the only vote against Ashley because Kelly did like make like a pitch to try to flip the vote onto Ashley, though it didn't really seem to gain much traction there. Then obviously Vince probably the vote for Ashley in that scenario as well. But still, that's at 2, 3 votes at most when you need 4. So it's again not looking super great over there. Mickey versus Vince. Again, that situation. Again, that's sort of like the main situation. I guess like at that point, like I think they kind of just dump on the Mickey here because what, like you have like Ava voting out Mickey, I think, over Vince. I don't know. Ava could also be a vote for Vince in this scenario, but regardless, Kelly vote for Mickey. Because no, Kelly might be a vote for Vince here, right? And Lauren be a vote for Mickey here. And then I think the judges also just kind of gang up on Mickey here. To where, again, I don't think it'll be super exciting here. Mickey goes home. But the other intriguing scenario, probably the more interesting one, would be Ashley versus Vince here. Where again, like you have the judges all voting for Vince here. So you have Rachel, you have Will, you have Mickey in this scenario, right? Yeah, Mickey votes for Vince here. And then you have Ava, who is pretty locked in to vote for Vince here. That's 4 votes. That's enough. I do think the other 3 votes go to Ashley in the scenario, where again Kelly is a vote for to affect Ashley, and then you also pull in Lauren and Morgan. They'd be votes to evict Ashley here. Where again, like for a lot of the week, like Ava is a swing vote here. She's really the vote to get if you want to flip the vote to Ashley. But again, it does seem like Vince has really dropped the ball here. So that's essentially where we're currently at, where that's where we can expect the votes to land. Is Mickey voting out Vince over Ashley? I believe so. Yes, like I believe Mickey was one of the locked votes for Ashley. Like as I just broke down, like again, Ava's a swing vote. In this scenario, I think Mickey goes out 7-0. It's possible. Like again, like I feel like with Kelly, like you never 100% know. She'll just like throw a vote onto Ashley, like just cause. But yeah, like either way, like it's either 6-1, 7-0. I think. Who do you think wins the blockbuster? Oh yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to bring up is that we did get the preview for the blockbuster here. Hopefully that wasn't playing. Yeah, but the sound's off, right? I mean, I guess I can just put on my headphones for a second just to see if it is playing here. It looks like the sound's off. So okay, so no sound.
In moments, all of these.
Okay. Again, sounds just off because you should probably just play copyright music. But okay, it looks like the we've seen this comp before. Like you're just grabbing balls here. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Okay, so what? You're just grabbing. Yeah, you're just grabbing balls and just like arranging it, dropping them into the sequence. I assume like these tubes are like I assume these tubes are like tailored for like everyone's height, right? Because like you can see Julie like barely like I feel like Julie's barely able to like reach on top of the tube to drop the balls in. But yeah. So that's what we're looking at here. I don't know. Who's the favorite in this comp? I mean, I feel like Ashley I feel like Ashley is like the least likely person to win this style comp because I already forget like what was the veto comp that she because like Ashley's like won a veto like she won a veto in week 1 but like what was the veto again like I don't remember the veto competition that she won exactly what was it just going on to the wiki to see okay these don't really oh yeah I now remember it was just a memory comp right. Yeah, it was that comp that you won, which is obviously not what this is. Beyond that, like you have Vince, obviously. Um, Vince obviously has won the wall, and he also won a balancing comp as well, which again, not. I assume like he'd do like okay at it, but and then you have Mickey. So like I feel like it's probably between Mickey and Vince, probably because I don't imagine Ashley doing that well in a comp like that, but you never really know, like until you actually see them in action and everything. It's just off this side. Okay. Still shocked Kelly made jury. I'm shocked Keanu made jury. Like, I feel like not many people expected the season to go how it has, but here we are. Niagara Ball. Yeah. Tucker won it last season, right? If Vince Lee's slightly you feel bad being evicted. Oh yeah. It always sucks like going out one round before jury. Though at the same time, it's like I mean it's Vince. I mean I do think it would be a little bit funny that comes from to happens to Vince of all people, considering like the game that he's played and everything, and just how he's been acting. Uh, I will say the one thing I would miss about Vince going out is obviously the fact that Taron Armstrong has been doing like his impressions of Vince, and like those have been like probably one of the bigger highlights of like the live feed updates this season. Just see him do like the impressions and stuff. I feel like that'd probably be like the one L that would come from that. But on the whole, I still think if Vince goes, it would be a pretty satisfying downfall for him, considering that he is going out on Keanu's HOH in a spot to where Keanu wasn't even targeting him. So that's something at least. Money's on Mickey. I think Mickey's winning the comp. Again, I would assume Mickey would do well here. I feel like Vince would be her main competition, but like I would expect Mickey to do decently here. Complete crapshoot. I don't know if it's a crapshoot. Like, I mean, it does require like like you need to have like quick reflexes and like hand-eye coordination. So I don't know. Like, I think there is like plenty of skill involved here. If Vince leaves, there may be a mustache curse. Oh yeah, right. I mean, because what you had Joseph from last season, right? He had a mustache. Vince goes tonight. He did it to himself. I agree with that. Vince told Morgan if he's evicted, he will never talk to Keanu ever again. That sounds like Vince right there. Is there anyone in particular that you're rooting to win the blockbuster? Um, I feel like probably like I'd probably be fine with either like Vince or Mickey winning it because while I feel like either one of them staying could offer some value here because it's like now I think in terms of like strictly the boot here, I think Mickey is probably the person who I would like look forward to the least seeing another week. I feel like I've kind of I feel like I'd be perfectly fine with Mickey going out this week, like just inherently, because I feel like Vince and probably Ashley are like better characters than Mickey, and I feel like Vince staying like could give us more of like this like dynamic of like him being pathetic and like him just like continuing to shoot himself in the foot and just kind of like just being like a complete roller coaster of a game. But this in obviously you have like the prospect of him like somehow like getting to the end and just getting like destroyed by a jury. So I do think there's like some upside for Mickey going out in the sense that it would allow the Vince story to continue. But at the same time, I think Vince going out would also be like a funny like moment of like just being like this funny comeuppance for him. So I feel like either way it's probably like fine. Like though obviously it's like it would have to depend on like one of those two winning to ensure that the other goes out. Uh and obviously Ashley winning the blockbuster like probably be like the least satisfying outcome for that to happen. I think it probably would have to simply be like Mickey winning the blockbuster and then Vince going out. That's probably where I'm at here. Um, Tucker crushed it last season, so I wouldn't say yeah. He went, requires a bit of skill. Still think it's a crapshoot. I think it's a crapshoot by virtue of it just going really fast because it's like obviously if the balls are just flying and like like you have to rely a bit on like the ball like landing in the right place. Obviously that's a factor. But I don't know. Like I still think some people are more favored in that comp than others. Tired of seeing Vince on the fees. Like, yeah, I can see the argument as well. Like Vince like kind of overstaying his welcome. Do you think the cheap minutes backlash on Vince is worse than Christine? Like it's not great. Like because like he's like talking about like how like oh yeah my girlfriend like yeah, like he's like, oh, don't worry, I got permission. I got my permission. Like it's okay. Like we're not actually in a showmance. But then like they'll just cuddle and like didn't they kiss recently? Like I thought I heard they like shared a kiss recently. I don't know. It's obviously not great. What's your theory on the twist that Sharon Tharp hinted at earlier? Are you talking about the two shows thing? I think that's from Sharon Tharp. But I think they're definitely like alluding to like a split house, probably, right? Yeah. It was like the one about like watching like two shows, like so. Yeah, I think it's definitely like leaning to like some sort of split house. Probably have like a split house, and then you probably have like a double eviction. Though it would be weird to like have it at 9 though, like have it be like an odd number. So I guess maybe it's like I don't know, like probably do it next either do it next week or you either do it next week or you like have like some sort of weird twist where like someone like gets like safety or like they get to like root for the winning team, which is like at that point it's like why not just wait another week? So, but at the same time, it's like you only have like 3 weeks to like do 6 evictions, so it's like. Are you really gonna have like a split and then like a double immediately afterwards? Like that'd be kind of silly. Might bring back the triple eviction. Yeah, so it's like so again, it's like 3 weeks, right? So you have tonight will be down to 9, and then you have 3 more shows after that, like with the 25th, assume presumably being like 4 to 3. So you have the 11th and the 18th. You have between the 11th and the 18th to get from 9 people to 4 people, right? Unless you have like another eviction along the way, but I don't know, like so what? You have like if you have a double like next week, so 9, 8, 7, and then I guess you have a triple, right? So next week is the 11th. We'll be down to the final 9. if you have a triple, or if you have a triple, then you have 9 to 8, 8 to 7, 7 to 6. Then you have the 18th. I guess the 18th could be like a standard like final 5. No, be final 6, right? I'm really bad at like these numbers. I'm really bad at like count. I can't do math all of a sudden, but so 9 to 8, 8 to 7, 7 to 6. 18th could be like 6 to 5. 6 to 5. And then you could have like a Sunday eviction on the 21st. That'd be like 5 to 4. Thursday the 25th would be 4 to 3. And then obviously finale is on the Sunday the 28th. I mean, yeah, because either way, like you're gonna have to have like at least like two, like you have to have at least like two eliminations beyond like just the standard one a week. So either it's like two doubles, like again, you can either have like a split house and a double, or you could have like a triple, right? But then either way, like you're gonna have an eviction on the Sunday the 21st. So again, I could see them doing either way. Like I don't think they loved the triple on that they did on 22, so maybe they instead go for like the split house. I think they kind of preferred that. But so yeah, you're definitely gonna have to do something there. Is Vince a weasel? I've been calling him a weasel. What is this? Um, but yeah, I've called Vince a weasel before. Okay. But anyway, we are now just a couple minutes from the start of the show here. I can continue answering questions. Who do you hope wins HOH tonight? Hoping for another Rachel HOH. So I feel like at this point in the season I'm kind of split over what I actually want to happen because like on some level like I do like the judges as an alliance. Like I probably would rather them succeed on some level. But on the other like because it's like really it's like outside the judges like you have what like Lauren like I I feel like Lauren winning the season would be kind of boring. Same thing with Kelly would just be kind of frustrating. I feel like really the only person outside the judges that I would want to win is like Keanu or something, and obviously Keanu can't compete in the HOH, so probably just within the judges probably. So like, I think I'd be fine with like a Rachel HOH. I feel like Rachel probably would not screw it up essentially. But anyway, I'm just trying to turn on the show here. Uh, what else? They might bring back the triple purge evictions for me. Oh yeah, it's gonna be brutal. Like all these eliminations in a row. You think the final 8, final 6 double evictions, and the final 5, final 4 rounds will all be in 1 week? I'm guessing you mean like a double happens at the final 8, so that's why you skip over the final 7. Feel Kelly might be one of the worst players in my jury. Yes, I think Kelly's pretty bad as a player. I feel like Kelly and Keanu like have a serious argument for being like one of the worst people to players to make jury for sure. Kelly especially. Like I think Keanu's bad in the sense that like he has like really bad reads, and is also like notorious for like having like what he doesn't want to happen. He's really bad at, like enacting what he actually wants. But at the same time, it's like I think like he's at least like somewhat willing to make moves, and like he's at least like competent in competitions. Typically, Kelly's also like good in competitions, but it's like I think Keanu's another person that could at least like win it. I think Keanu could win a jury vote at the end. I think Kelly has like no respect, and I feel like Keanu's also someone who's built more inroads, whereas I feel like Kelly doesn't even really have that. If they have a triple, would there be a chance that they could do the BB Can version of it? that's a possibility. Like, where it's like you put up three people and then like you vote for one person to stay. Would they do that? I don't know. It's like, I mean, I think if they were to do it, they probably would try to just go do it the same way that they did it in 22. Like, I don't know how much inspiration they would take from BB Can. I think they were originally going to do a triple next week, but because it's George W. Bush's favorite holiday, oh yeah, they changed it to the 18th, and they're probably gonna have a double at 5-4. Uh, would they have a? Would they really have a double to get into the final three? Like that feels kind of weird. Like I could see a double happening like final six, 6 and 5, and then you get the final four. But it's like 5 and 4. Like you really, I just don't know if they're gonna speed run the final four round because I feel like the final four round it's like the one round of the game that's like kind of unique because like the HOH is kind of powerless and like there's like different dynamics in play with like the sole person to evict and like all this fun stuff. I feel like they wouldn't want to skim over that. Anyway, the show's now starting, and we're getting into the recap now. Do you think Kelly was recruited? Probably. Yeah. She did admit to being recruited. Kiana probably getting 9 to 6. Depend. I mean, yeah, it's like unless he wins a comp, then he's pretty likely to be targeted in the next few rounds. But the problem is the judges. Like, I feel like the entire issue with the judges is I feel like they're just not as good competition wise and like the people outside of it. And it's like, is Lauren like really targeting like Lauren or Kelly really targeting Keanu at this point? Probably not if they win a comp. For Celebrity Bear 3, final four, fiction is 90 minutes. Yeah, because like I just did I did the math, like, and it's like, yeah, because it's like, yeah, it's like at most, like if we include Sunday the 21st, then it's like you have 1, 2, 3, 4. You have yeah, you literally have like four days, for like episodes essentially to whittle down 6 people to get it from 9 to 3. What do you think of the Blockbuster now that's coming to end this week? I feel like my view of it hasn't changed that much. Like, I feel like I feel like they'll probably again they already said they were going to continue it, but I feel like it's probably played out similarly to how it did last season, where again like on paper, like I think there are like still issues with the Blockbuster like format, and like there's definitely like situations where it could fail. But I think this is now the second season in a row where I feel like they got kind of lucky, both by the cast that they got in terms of like how they would like interact with it, but also in terms of like the actual competition results. I feel like we've consistently gotten like the best case scenario for like the blockbusters to ensure that it's not just the obvious person going out, and that instead we would get like a much better result. So I do feel like they'll probably still look at it pretty highly after this. I feel like it's probably not going to go away. Anyway, previews now wrapping up here. Anyway, recap's just done. Good evening. I'm Julie Chen Moonves. I kind of forgot about the mastermind. I I feel I don't know. I feel like this is sort of similar to how they treated like Ainsley, because like when did Ainsley come up in the pre-jury of 26? Like outside the premiere, it's like we didn't really get much of Ainsley until like the postery because like she like came back. She didn't come back until like Janky Week, right? Yeah, it wasn't until Janky Week that they brought back the whole like AI like twist to it all. But yeah, I feel like the Mastermind has been kind of an afterthought here, like in terms of the storyline, the lore. But anyway, Julie's about to wrap up her spiel here. Now, hour is up. But first, anyway, so we're now getting to the post-veto meeting stuff. As we saw in the last episode, Ashley made quite a stink about being nominated. She made a whole speech about calling Keanu Tarzan. Anyway, we're still seeing more fallout from that with people squabbling about Ashley's speech. Anyway, very short deliberation here. We're now getting Rachel and Ashley talking. Rachel hyping up Ashley here for her speech. Will you live stream the eviction in your Discord? You mean aside from, you mean in addition to on YouTube? Mean I could try to look into like the setup for that, but I haven't really like considered like streaming on Discord before. Also, welcome Simple Creature to the Discord server. Like, could you show the eviction on Discord? Uh oh, you mean like showing like my Paramount Plus, or my Xfinity? Again, like I could probably look into it, but like I'm not entirely sure of the setup for that. Anyway, now Mickey is talking with Kelly here. If Mickey really wanted to win this blockbuster here. And now we have Mickey and Morgan talking. Maybe. We have Morgan not being sure what to do in the Ashley and Mickey scenario. I really wonder how she's going to resolve this. Maybe. Yeah, they're setting up the possibility of Morgan voting out Ashley over Mickey, which again doesn't seem that likely. Now we have Keanu and Ava talking. We have Keanu trying to do a bit of campaigning here to Ava to try to evict Ashley. You have Ava just being totally confused right now. All right. Yep. Now we have Now everyone's ganging up on Keanu. What did Keanu ever do to you, Ashley? Don't you think calling him Tarzan was a step too far? Maybe. Yep. Now Rachel's getting into it. Keanu is dead ass in the right there here. And now they're setting up Ava as the swing vote here. And my throat is super dry right now. I don't know why. Like I'm just dying of thirst. Ava's always a swing vote. In some ways she has. Yeah, I mean she's been a swing vote multiple times this season. Why is it not on my Paramount or YouTube TV? What are you? Are you in the Eastern time zone? Are you in Eastern or Central time? Amazon's attack by Vin, I guess. Okay, you're in Central. It should be on. Yeah, I mean, if you have Paramount Plus, then like it should be on right now. I mean, you should be able to watch it on there. I think my local news took it over. That's so unfortunate. Yeah, because yeah, I'm not sure what's going on over there. Uh, do you think Morgan should cut Vince for the sake of her own game? I think it's a little tough for Morgan right now because I think like either way, like I feel like no matter what, she's kind of like in a lose lose. Like I think Morgan's best case scenario is that Mickey just loses the blockbuster and she could just vote her out. Again, like you keep both Ashley and Vince in the game. I do think I think if that I think if Mickey does win the blockbuster though, I think you vote out Vince here, right? Yeah, I think I would. I think I would just cut Vince because the thing about Vince, like Vince, is just not a good ally to have. Like he has like consistently shown like that he just like under like he'll just like he's like a parasite. Really, it's like he just like saps like all of you like your positioning. He saps all of you like your options and stuff. Like yeah, exactly. Like yeah, exactly. Like well, like yeah, it's like that's the thing. Like he's just like way too self and like over and over and over again. Like he's just like continually like he has done way more harm to Lauren's game than like good. And it's like I feel like yeah, like Vince needed Morgan during the Riley round. I will give it that. But I feel like at this point, for Morgan's end, like I think she should just cut her losses and just stick with the judges, because it's like yeah, it's like she's not in a great spot in the judges at this point anyway. Where I feel like obviously like Ashley and Will are tight, Rachel and Ashley are somewhat tight. Like I feel like Morgan's like not in a great spot within that. But I feel like Vince going would probably open her up a little bit more. I think it would definitely like give her more options, like to like maneuver around, like working with like Lauren or even Ava. Again, like I feel like getting rid of Vince would probably open her up a bit more, like because at the end of the day, I feel like Vince will probably like Vince is just not a good ally. So I feel like it's probably better to like keep the judges intact for another week. Gives you like at least like a structure to where it's like you're not going to be the immediate target. Like again, like the likes of Keanu, Kelly, Lauren will still be targeted next week over you. But at the same time, like you can still like you use the judges to like kind of play the middle a bit more. Whereas I feel like by keeping Vince around, like Vince will just like do whatever it takes to stay in the game, like even if it like comes at the cost of throwing Morgan on the bus. So like I feel like that's probably where I stand on that issue. I think if I were Morgan, I probably would just vote out Vince if it's Ashley versus Vince. And I think that is what she's probably going to do in this scenario. Mastermind had so much potential, wasted Ainsley, wasn't wasted. I don't know. Like I feel like Janky again. I feel like a lot of the Ainsley stuff, like the fun, like the cool Ainsley stuff, came in like the postery. So like I feel like they're probably gonna like utilize the Mastermind more here. But anyway, the show's back on now, and we do have Mickey and Will talking. I assume Mickey's doing some campaigning here to try to stay if she loses the Blockbuster. I have a thought that the Mastermind hasn't shown up because Amy been evicted last time we saw. I don't know. Like I feel like it doesn't really have to do with that. Like I think they just like we're just gonna save them for later anyway. Vince harmed more of his close allies than his enemies this season. Yeah, I agree. Like I think Vince like again like if he goes tonight he'll have entirely done this to himself. But anyway, now we're having a combo with Ava and Mickey here. I assume Mickey's doing more campaigning. Should Morgan date Keanu next? Obviously. I mean, they're so compatible, don't you know? I should probably start updating like the games and stuff. But anyway, Ava is just still talking to Mickey right now. But anyway, now we are seeing Vince talking with Mickey. Why are you? Now we're seeing Vince trying to get Mickey's vote here, someone who is currently on the block. This feels like such an effective use of your time, Vince. I wonder if Kat and Riley are dating right now. I think Catherine said it in an interview that she wasn't dating. Like, I think it seems like they're done, which is makes sense, and it's probably for the best. And we have Mickey talking with the other judges here. Blueberry. Really, the first alliance will? I mean, what about the Burger Boys? Don't you remember the Burger Boys? Right now, I'm just updating the polls. That's 12. Anyway, going to commercial now. When we get back, we'll finally see who will win this epic blockbuster. The final blockbuster of the season, in fact. So let's see. Zerfinks. Myself. Q-Boy. Steven. Will. Okay. And 4 people picked Vince. Those being Toonelli, Wisp. A lot of people got points here. I think everyone got points except for. Who will win veto? Only a couple people got Morgan. We are currently on commercial break. Yep. There's that. Morgan. Replacement mom, Ashley. Everyone and their mom picked Ashley here. This will take a minute. Val, myself. Part of me wishes Rachel was or able to replace her mom, just so I don't have to fill in all these points. Owen, Blueberry, Wisp, Daniel, Ordinary, Will, Ace, Mayev, Leon, Blue, Zerfix. And that should be everyone here. Yep. Okay. That's everyone. Who do you think will win Blockbuster? Again, I probably lean Mickey to win this one. Who would you like to see win the season? I think my personal preference would probably be like either Rachel or like maybe Keanu, just be funny. But anyway, we are getting back now from commercial here. Very exciting stuff. Right in time. Back from commercial, getting straight into this blockbuster. Alright. Really return the favor. All right. So again, it's basically the Niagara Balls comp where it's like they got to grab balls and they got to grab colored balls and they have to drop them in arranged order here. All right. Pretty simple stuff here. All right. All right. All right, we are now underway. Everyone has to grab all these balls and arrange them. Vince is the first to strike here, dropping a ball into place, I think. Ashley having a ball currently. Again, it's going to take a bit to see progress so far. Mickey dropping her ball and seeming to be the last one, but she immediately grabs a second and a third ball. She seems to have grabbed a whole bunch of balls and stuffed them into her jacket, really taking advantage of the comp here. Vince does not seem to be falling for that strategy instead of grabbing them one at a time. However, Vince does have several balls in place here. Currently, the focus on Vince here. Ashley seems to be behind quite a bit here. Kind of hard to get a view. It seems like Vince is the lead right now, but Mickey's not far behind. Yeah, Vince currently in the lead here. Yeah, Vince just dropping more and more balls, but again, Mickey sticking to her strategy of like stuffing balls in her jacket so that she can stump them all at once here. The question is whether she'll be able to capture the Vince or not with this strategy. But again, Vince, I don't think Vince is doing that strategy though. Like he's not really retaining the balls well if he is. Like he doesn't really have like an outfit designed for that. Um yeah, like Vince is just grabbing balls one at a time. Ashley is like in last here, but it may not matter though, as Vince though still has quite a bit of the lead over Mickey at this point here. Again, the question is whether Vince will be able to maintain this lead or not. It looks like Ashley started over. Like I guess she made a mistake here. But again, the competition is still underway here. Cut to Vince again, seeming to drop more balls. He just has a couple balls left, and that'll do it. Vince has won the Blockbuster. All right. Rip your poles. Oh no. All right. All right, if you're just joining us, Vince has just won the Blockbuster here, meaning the final nominees are Ashley and Mickey here. And it is looking like Mickey is about to be evicted here without too much difficulty. Again, not the funnest scenario, though to be fair, I feel like it was mostly locked in regardless. But that we are off to commercial. But yeah, I should probably update the poll while I'm at it. Also, rip my draft because I had Mickey in my draft, so that's probably not ideal. Blockbuster. I mean, to be fair, I did have. Wait, did I hedge my? Oh yeah, no, no, no. I just got the wrong side of it entirely. So let me just update the Blockbuster. question. Skyrus. Ordinary, Zerfinx. Kenny. Okay. 8 and 10 for the evicted question. Because I assume Mickey's about to be evicted here, so should update that question as well in case. But yeah, I could be wrong, but I assume that will just be the same here. Just take a minute. Will AF. Oh, and then Kenny. Should be unanimous or 6-1. That is what it's looking like here. Again, I think the main question mark is what Kelly does in this scenario. Vince is gonna be like Quinn and leave next week. Yeah, I still think Vince is in not a great spot coming into the following week. I mean, he'll definitely need to like win a comp if he wants to be safe. Who would put up Vince and Keanu? Probably a lot of people, right? I assume Keanu's gonna be like a prime target for next week. But I don't know. I feel like again, Morgan probably wouldn't put her up or put Vince up. I think Lauren would probably keep her safe. Obviously, Kelly probably might. I'll probably just like Lauren and Morgan would probably not put up Vince. I could see them not putting up Vince, particularly Morgan, but I feel like a lot of others probably would just put up Keanu and Vince, right? Or like Keanu and Kelly, or like some combination of that. Well, who's going and why isn't Mickey Mouse? Well, I feel like you just answer your own question. Fun fact: Will is the only man who survived the block against a woman. Uh, yeah, yeah, from the what, the Amy week? Yeah, that was the week he was on the block, right? Anyway, we are still a commercial here. I mean, though to be fair, we still are only halfway through the show. It's a pretty long competition though, so they probably set aside time for like the announcement or like the mastermind or whatever. But anyway, we are now back from commercial here. Julie, moments away from announcing the results. Not expecting a interesting campaign period here. Anyway, imagine a world where Vince left this week and Keanu goes up next week. Will be the only man left in top 8. Yeah, that would be quite a world. Right? All right, Julie announced the result. Cut to Keanu. Cut to Morgan. Vince hugs Morgan right away. And that is such a long hug. Anyway, everyone's just hugging. Not much happening campaign wise. Keanu is now hugging Keanu. Or Vince is hugging Keanu. Um, Now Vince is hugging Will here. A lot of focus on Vince here. Hugging everyone. Yeah, everyone's just hugging. Not much. Ava's doing a little cheer in the background. Yeah, not much is happening. All right, and then everyone is now sitting down. Very little campaigning. I feel like this should be a pretty straightforward result. All right, Ashley's up first. We're getting to the eviction speeches. Does Mickey know it's going to be here? That is a question. Man, I assume it would. You would think she would know, but for all I know, like Mickey could just assume she has the numbers here. Anyway, pretty brief, pretty energetic speech from Ashley here. But now we're getting to Mickey. Mickey giving a pretty upbeat speech here. Doesn't seem super nervous or emotional. All right, pretty straightforward speeches here. All right, getting straight to the vote here. I would do a chemo type speech. Not gonna lie. I mean that's awesome. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I could work up the emotions to do a chemo speech without it sounding like super forced and stuff. But anyway, Vince is the first to the voting booth here. Let's see what he does. All right, Vince is a vote for Ashley. Oh, Rachel should be a pretty easy Mickey vote here. There it is. There we go. 1-1. Going straight to commercial here. Because we got to have plenty of time for that mastermind announcement. So yeah, I mean, again, yeah, Vince there voting for Ashley. Probably get Kelly on board too, but uh, why did Vince do that? That is a question. Why did Vince throw his vote onto Ashley? I don't think it's a split vote. I mean, again, like I think the consensus should be Mickey here. I love if Kelly, Lauren, and Morgan voted Ashley. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like put too much into that. Why can't we see it? See this right here. But yeah, we're currently at commercial here. If you're just joining us, Vince won the Blockbuster. We have Ashley and Mickey currently on the block, and it is expected that Mickey will be evicted here. Though obviously, we still see some votes here. We have at least one vote for Ashley already. Could see some more from Kelly, possibly Morgan. But again, I think the vote should be there. I mean, you have Will, obviously, should be another locked vote for Mickey. Ava should be a locked vote for Mickey as well. And you have Morgan. Also, mm, I think Morgan also votes to evict Mickey in this scenario. But we are still at commercial right now. So, so obviously jury starts after tonight with on 9. I think we can look a bit ahead to next week where I would assume like Vince or Keanu be the most likely first jurors. I think Vince probably one of Vince, Keanu, or Rachel are likely to be the first jurors here. Um, Depending on who wins HOH, I think if the judges end up when the judges side wins HOH, then it's likely we are looking at a Keanu or Vince eviction. I would assume. If on the other hand we have like Kelly or Lauren or even Vince winning HOH, then we could also again. I don't think they go for Keanu precisely, but I could definitely see them going for Rachel at least. I mean, I think Rachel's still like a pretty sizable target, especially now that we are in the jury phase. I think there'll be a lot of push to want to get out Rachel at this current point now that we are this deep into the game. That's my initial like assumption for what's going to happen next week. Though obviously, still gonna have to get through this vote. Still have to get through the next HOH to see what course will take. Looks like we're about to get back from commercial in a moment here. We are back now from commercial, where the vote will be continuing here. All right, we have Will up next. Should be a locked vote for Mickey. Mm-hmm. Not too shocking. Next up, we have Kelly. Wait, Kelly. Interesting. Kelly not voting for Ashley, instead going for Mickey here. Seems like Vince is purely Vince, maybe the only one throwing a hinky vote. But next we got Lauren going in. All right, there it is. Lauren cast her vote for Mickey, meaning Mickey is about to be the final pre-juror. Anyway, we've got Morgan coming in. Yep, Morgan's a vote for Mickey. All right. And then we finally have Ava. And Julie not even like giving us suspense with these intros here. Ava very enthusiastically voting for Mickey here. But with that, we have a 6-1 vote. Not too shocking here that Mickey is the final pre-juror of the season here. Ava's heading back to her seat here. Julie's about to announce the results. And let's see Mickey's reaction to all this. All right. Mickey having a fairly sub. Yeah, she did seem a little shocked. Not like a big reaction, but yeah, she does look a bit surprised here. Possibly a blindside. Because I believe Mickey like I don't think Mickey like ever got the true sense that she was about to be evicted. Again, see this down here. I'm not showing the screen for copyright reasons, but I am giving a play-by-play. But again, Mickey gave me a few hugs here, not wasting too much time and grabbing her bags here. Yeah, it seems like it's gonna be a pretty quick exit for her. Is Mickey a worse player than Riley on the season? It's not great. I'd probably say she's probably more actively bad player than Riley. It was probably not. I mean, she was in like a goodish position at a point, but like I feel like she did more to like blow up her game. But anyway, Ava having a big celebration to Mickey's eviction here. Like you can clearly tell that Ava's been dying to vote out Mickey. Anyway, we have Vince and Morgan hugging again. I mean, hopefully Kelsey's watching at home. Oh, come on, guys! It's not a showmance. I swear. You see, I got permission. I got permission before coming out here. It's okay, guys. But anyway, they're not talking about jury. Like Will's just like Will just checked the time. Like they're noticing that they still have like 10 minutes left in the hour here. But anyway, cutting to the interview now. Julie noting that Mickey looks done here. Anyway, I gotta update the polls while I listen to this. All right. Yep. Mickey saying she was shocked. Mickey thinking that Morgan was the vote keeper. Yep. Mickey seeming pretty surprised that Vince was the vote to keeper. Mickey going all in on like the whole like Rachel aspect to it. But anyway, I'm just updating the games right now. Starting with the poll. So now yeah, we have Mickey saying she's saying she doesn't know about the judges. We have her saying she was the most betrayed by Will. Interesting selection there. Says Morgan's in the best position right now. Also gives Will some flowers here. Ava, Rachel, Eva, Lauren, Vince, Lauren, Vince. Okay. Skyrus, Morgan, Vince. Corey picks Ava. Rachel. Ava. Okay. All right, now Julie's doing her big announcement. How exciting is this? All right, she's now announcing that jury is starting. Not too shocking. All right. Now we still have the mastermind. Okay. I guess I can like look at some stuff for now. Oh, so sorry, I didn't see this. Thank you, Jared. I guess I can just do this because I don't really have a setup. $5 super chat from Jared. Why do I low key feel sad for Mickey? I mean, I feel you. Like I do feel like obviously like going out one round before jury like always sucks. Like it's never like something you want to see. And while like I was not a big fan of Mickey, like I do feel like at the very least it's like you do always have to feel a little bit for that person. But thank you again for the super chat. But yeah, I mean on the whole, I mean pretty interesting stuff here. Kelly and Keanu made it to jury. They sure did. They sure did make it to jury. But yeah, we're now a commercial here. Just had to update the draft now. So Mickey, so many people picked Mickey. It's gonna hurt. Okay, just now I just need to update that. Back from commercial here. Okay. Anyway, getting more BB unlock stuff. Uh, Lance Bass. Wasn't he in sync? It's so funny with like the. I was thinking like the circle for a second because like wasn't that the whole thing like that? His manager was on the circle. Yeah, they just mentioned the circle, I believe. He just says he doesn't like anyone. Ashley just survived against a woman. How do you rate the Mick Tater's game on the power ranking? Not great. Again, she did kind of just blow up her game. Obviously, that's not great. Since why? Who do you guys think will win? Again, I do think I still stand by Lauren. Like Lauren and Will probably be in the top two right now. I mean, obviously Vince Stang will. Again, Vince could navigate deeper into the game, but like I feel like again the way he's just conducted himself, like, and I think the way he's managed his relationships, I feel like it's just gonna make it very hard for him to win a jury vote. Though I think him surviving this week will probably like again like we've seen like Vince like be like in a roller coaster where it's like he goes on the block, he'll like be in the center of the house. Like I mean, it's just you just never really know with Vince. So take that for what you will. Anyway, who's Lance Bass? He was in sync. He was also technically in a season of the Circle. Anyway, oh boy, the Mastermind. All right, let's listen to this. All right, all right. So we're just having another janky week. It looks like. What White Locust? Love one another. All right, all right. That was something. Anyway, sorry, I was sorry distracted. But yeah, Lance Bass was in sync. He again was essentially a catfish on season two of the Circle, though it was his former manager, I guess. Like, still find that kind of weird, but whatever. Who do you want to win, and who do you think will win? Who do I want to win? Again, I think at this point, either Rachel. Personally, I think I've come around to like either like Rachel or Keanu. Like personally, I think they'd probably be the most satisfying. Well, I guess Keanu's like more so funny than satisfying, but I think Rachel's probably like, would probably be the most satisfying winner. Who do I think will win? I couldn't. Again, I still think it's kind of a crapshoot because I still think this season's been kind of a train wreck. But I still stand by like that. People like Lauren, for instance. Like I think Lauren, Keanu. possibly Vince. I think they are kind of in like in this position to where they could start winning a whole bunch of these comps in the jury. Where even though they're not in the majority alliance, even though they're not in the judges, I just feel I feel like if they were to go on this run and like start to like dismantle the judges like through just winning competitions and making so that they can't be taken out, I feel like I wouldn't be shocked by that. So I think that's something. Is there a Sunday episode? I believe there is. I think isn't it supposed to be like an extra episode this week? Yeah, because oh no. Okay, so there's no Sunday episode. There's okay, so the Tuesday episode is what the Sunday episode would be. What's on Sunday? Like, is there like a PGA thing happening this weekend? Okay, it's the oh yeah, it's the Tour Championship. Okay, so I'm guessing it's because it's like the PGA thing, Tour Championship. Okay. So I'm guessing that's why there's no Sunday episode. But so yeah, so the next episode will be on Tuesday, which is good to know. How can Vince possibly improve his position? Also, what was that? Again, I think it was just to appease Keanu again because I think Keanu would have rather had Ashley out by Thursday than Mickey. I think it was just to appease him. But I think Vince's like path forward, like again, I think more the fact that Morgan's still there will definitely help him a lot. I think for Vince, like his best road is just win comps. Like I think if like him and Morgan start like trading comp wins or something like that, like then I think that could give them the leverage. I think that gives Vince his in again to like to start to take out Rachel. Like you gotta take out Rachel first. I feel like if you're Vince, you probably had to like take the head off the snake essentially, and then at that point, it's like again, like you could just like start picking off the rest of them. You could pick off Ashley next. You could like take out like Will. Actually, no, I don't. I think he want to take Will deep. So I think there is a path for like Vince to get deep into the game, but yeah, like sort of what you're saying, Will. Like I do think I think I think Vince is gonna have a major perception issue at this point because again, like he just comes off as like such a pathetic weasel like all the time. It's like and he's like such a bad ally. I think it's like rubbing off on people. Like the fact that he was gonna go home over Ashley had he not had like Mickey won the blockbuster this week. I think that is kind of telling to like how people like see him because like I feel like at this point like a lot of people like they either don't trust him or like they just don't like him or they just find him kind of annoying. So I do feel like those things are going to precede him even if he is able to like squeeze his way back in. But like and to be fair, I think he could also try to like lean to like this weak persona as well, to where like maybe he's like able to be spared over like Keanu or Kelly. So like again, I think there are paths for him to like not necessarily go home next, but like in terms of him actually winning, I think it's gonna be a very uphill battle for him at this point. I think that these last few weeks have made that very apparent to me and to a lot of people as well. Rachel only good competitor on her side. Yeah, I agree. I still think Vince has some winning scenarios of the lower jury. I mean, I think he wins against Kelly. So like, I think if we're looking at the jury votes, like I think he only wins against Kelly because it's like he loses to Will. I think he loses to. I mean, Ashley could be a toss up. I mean, I don't think again, no one really respects Ashley either. But I mean, I think Ashley will at least have like more of a backing. But again, I think Keanu. Where's Keanu? I'm here again. Keanu, I think he loses. I think Keanu would like have like this like respect just from comp wins, so I think that would precede him. Rachel, I think he loses to Rachel. I think Rachel is starting to be more respected in the house. Will, I think Will seems more likable, more respectable. Plus, he has the judges as a backing there. Let me just put these back. Um, Morgan, I think he loses to Morgan. Ava, again, I think Ava like is just more likable. I think she'll win due to that. Though again, if like Vince wins a whole bunch of comps, maybe he could turn around that perception. But I think he's like done things to actively like ruin his perception. I don't think it's simply like him like again just being mess of a player, but whatever. Lauren, I think he loses to Lauren. I think. Again, Lauren has like plenty of issues, but I think Lauren's the type of player that could like gain respect by like winning more competitions, more so than Vince. Because it's like, yeah, like it's like Lauren like isn't well respected. Like I think she comes off as like easily like malleable and stuff, and like not really having much of a backbone. But I think she's likable outside of that, and I think if she's able to like win comps, I think those comp wins could like turn into respect for her. Whereas I don't think they would for Vince. And then I think that just leaves. Oh yeah, and I forgot about Ashley. Again, I think Ashley's like. Again, I think the only people Vince could win against at this point is Kelly, maybe Ashley. I think that's it. But like, I think he struggles to win or outright loses against pretty much everyone else in this final nine. So that's sort of where I stand with Vince's winning prospects. Think Kelly or Keanu go next. It depends on the HOH result, but I think if anyone in the judges wins, it's probably going to be one of them as the next boot. Saw someone on the Reddit say if you took a random stranger off the street on finale night, they would win against Kelly. Probably. They probably would win against Kelly. I mean, who votes for Kelly, really? I said this somewhere else, but I can't believe we're in a world where both Kelly and Keanu made jury. Again, I'm with you, Blue. I can't believe they made it to jury either. Sort of crazy the world we're in. Who does Rachel put up? She wins HOH. I think she just goes for Keanu and Vince. I mean, I've been following. I have not been following feeds over the last few days that closely, but I think that's where she goes. I think she just sticks with the judges, and she probably just puts up like Keanu and Vince, and then if one of them comes down, she just puts up Kelly or Lauren. Like I think it's pretty straightforward what Rachel does here. Saw a guy on YouTube say that Ashley is really incompetent. She will not make it to a fifth year as an attorney. She's going to be a real estate agent by 2030. I mean, you gotta assume like she's like, I feel like she like is able to like conduct herself well enough in a law office, but it's like just seeing her like interact like in like a house, like she's like definitely a bit of a hot mess, but I think that makes her kind of relatable to me. Why is Rachel so against Keanu? It's because Keanu has like continually like burned her over and over again. Like Rachel's like repeatedly tried to like work with Keanu, like has tried to like work with him, but it's like Keanu just like he keeps throwing her under the bus. Like we saw that last week during Vince's HOH. He just constantly lies, and it's like, and he's like constantly like refusing, like he's like so stuck in his ways, like he has a very particular like view of like the house that's like wrong. He has like such bad reads, and he like refuses to listen to Rachel. Like Rachel will just tell him things, and he just like refuses to listen, like in the fact that he just lies and he throws her on the bus over and over again. Like I think Rachel's just fed up with Keanu at this point, so like, I feel like that's why like she like is done with him. Easy Keanu backdoor next week. Would they backdoor him? I mean, I think there's, I mean, probably, but I don't know. I feel like if you like, at the very least, you have to like put up like Vince and Kelly. It's like you would assume one of them would win DeVito, and then like Keanu would just be easy prenom. So okay. They don't need each other though. Keanu gone. Isn't Rachel the target out? Uh, I don't think. I mean, she could be, but it's like again, I think like if you're the judges, like you want to just continue to like take out people from the other side. Now I do think someone like Morgan, like obviously he has like outside connections. Like there's a reason like she would want to keep like a Vince around. You have like Ava, who's like kind of like this outsider. Like I mean, there's that. I mean, it's like either way. I feel like Rachel's like I don't think does she care at this point. Like I think like I don't think like because it's like yeah, like she'll become a target, but at the same time, like she needs to get like Vince and Keanu out. So it's like I feel like she probably like will need to get them out at this point. I would die for Rachel Keanu final two. That would be funny. Like I think that probably would be my dream scenario for the season. Even though I don't think it's likely to happen at this point, but it would be amazing if we got that as a final two. But yeah, I mean, again, that was another pretty fun stream here. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, like, glad you all could join us here. Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, I normally don't stay on too long after the stream ends. Like, I mean, I can answer like more questions. Like, if you have any, we can talk through some more stuff. But yeah, like, but yeah, I try not to stay on like too long afterwards. But yeah, I mean, it's like obviously like we could talk about other stuff like AU versus the world, which again, pretty good season. I feel like this previous week has not been as strong, though. Obviously, uh, though obviously like I did make the video today, so I feel like that was mostly straightforward. But yeah, I mean, like obviously, uh, in terms of next week, I think obviously I'll be back on the stream, have another power ranking for you. With the HOH, we'll see what happens with the HOH now that we're in the jury phase. Now that the Blockbuster is done, only no Big Brother. I mean that's perfectly fine. I mean, I cover Big Brother on this channel, so this is kind of a good place to be. But yeah, I mean, like, do any of you have any other things you wanted to talk about? So as soon as the one day the episode ends, I always watch your weekly power games. Thanks, man. Yeah, but yeah, it's been a pretty good season. I feel like this pre-jury phase has been mostly strong. Um, Again, like I was kind of like on the fence over like who I wanted to be the boot this week. Where it's like it would have been funny to see Vince go out this week, but at the same time, it's like I think I'm fine with Mickey going out as well. Like I feel like Mickey, like we've got kind of gotten what we're gonna get from her. I feel like there wasn't really much more we could have gotten from her, and it's like, while the Vince downfall would have been funny, I think we can at least save it for another week. Is there anyone unbeatable in the final two? Uh, I don't think anyone's unbeatable per se. I would say probably I don't know, like I was gonna say like either like Keanu or Rachel are like the biggest jury threats right now. But I don't think anyone's like 100% unbeatable right now. I think with each of these people, I think perceptions could definitely change in the following weeks, but I would say like right now it is seeming like they have the most amount of win equity. Don't see Rachel losing. I mean I know earlier in the season there was definitely like there's this talk about people being annoyed by Rachel, like and how like she's already won, she's already had her chance. So it's like I could definitely see a world where that still plays a factor, but I think it has definitely subsided a bit since the season has started. And I think with the way that Rachel's navigated through the game, I think it is like actually turning into game respect for her. I've been watching since BB20. This is the most interesting season by far for me. Um, I think like the actual gameplay in the season has been more interesting than like BB26 up to this point. So like I think there's definitely a serious debate here to be had between this season and last season. I think both of them have been fairly strong up to this point. Though I think BB26 has probably had better characters than this season. Where I think this season, like outside of Keanu and Rachel, like I feel like none of the characters here are particularly like great. I mean, Vince is funny to laugh at and stuff, but I feel like no one else has really like stood out as a character. But I think round around, like this season has been strong. Do you have Dan as your BB goat? Yeah, I think Dan's probably the best player. I find Vince a great character. I think Vince is just funny to laugh at. Like, just funny to like see him like getting all like neurotic and like him like kind of like again just being Vince and like being super self interested. Yeah, he's like a weasel. Like he's Weasel Vince. Just just seeing him like just like him like getting emotional, getting whiny and stuff. And also just him just being a bad ally. Also just seeing Taron Armstrong giving his impression. Like I think Vince has like brought a lot of like humor to the season. and like he has like a fun arc. I feel like he's had a fun arc up to this point. I don't know. I think I still probably stand by Angela being a better character for me. Like I think Angela has probably had better like individual moments. Like I think like her speech like to Matt on day 3, and also her like whole thing with the charcuterie board has been pretty good. Whereas I feel like Vince is like, I think I've gotten more enjoyment from like outside the show stuff. Like again, like Taron Armstrong, who I watch. Like I think just seeing his like how he's handled Vince is probably like where I've gotten more of my enjoyment from him. But yeah. What chance Rachel wins out? Not great if I'm being honest. Like I think I don't know. I feel like Rachel's probably not as strong of a competitor as what she was on like BB like 13 for instance. I think she definitely has like a lot of competition. Like I think going up against like Keanu, going up against I think the trio of like Keanu, Kelly, and Lauren. I guess throw in Vince there. I think they'll definitely like give her a run for her money. Season BB 26 with more characters, not as good as Angela. You mean not as many characters? I mean, I would agree with you with that on that at least. She's never lost an endurance challenge. She lost the wall. I mean, no, she wasn't in the wall. My bad. But beyond that, like she hasn't been in an endurance comp yet, so like we'll have to see how she does in that. I find some of Will's DRs surprisingly entertaining. Yeah, I think Will's like likable enough, and he has like a couple of minor moments, but like not enough to like really elevate the season. Vince being the runner-up of the season, getting no more than 1 or 2 votes would be a great end to his arc. Seeing him lose due to his sloppy gameplay, terrible jury management, weak reputation. Yeah, that would be great. I do think though. I think that's probably the biggest benefit to Vince surviving this week is that now like we have like the prospect of him like doing jury management and just and to be fair, it's like I feel like he's already demonstrated stuff that would be bad jury management, but like now they'll actually like have like ramifications for a jury vote. It'll be interesting to see. I don't think she has ever lost an endurance comp. I would need to like double check that, but yeah, like she hasn't really competed in one this season. Do you find Vince similar to Dan in a way? Kind of, but it's like obviously like, a lot messier and like not as good. Obviously, like where like he like tries to like make like these big moves, convinces like other people to like lay down their sword for him. I think there are parallels to like Dan like doing similar things. I feel like getting other players like do like suboptimal things to benefit him specifically. It has some funny one-liners on the feeds. I mean, I know like there was like the whole like pie. The main thing I remember about Ava is like the whole pie thing, like the fact that she didn't know what that pie meant pizza, right? Don't think BB casual even though Lauren exists. I mean, she was HOH. I mean, she was HOH. I mean, that's they had to know her for that at least. They had to know her for that. Yeah. Any other thoughts before we end stream here? Rachel and Lauren only ones to not have been nominated, right? Yeah, I believe so because yeah, I mean obviously Vince was nominated. Morgan was nominated. Ava was up. Will was up. Kelly was up. Keanu was up. Yeah, so it's just Lauren and Rachel who have not been nominated up to this point, which is funny considering that Rachel was very much talked about as a target, though she's just eluded the block up to this point. But yeah, I mean that'll do it for stream here tonight. Obviously, I'll be back again next week around the same time. We'll have to see if Rachel and Lauren continue their streak of staying off the block. But yeah, I mean, I do feel like we still have at least some interesting setup for the coming weeks. There'll still be plenty of intrigue over like the jury scenarios and stuff like that. But we'll get to that soon enough. Yeah, have a good night. But yeah, I mean, thank you so much for a great stream, and I'll be back next week. See ya.